So are you ready to take control of your finances and start investing, but you don't really know what index funds are, or you want to be a little bit more well-knowledged in index funds? Well, in this video, I have you covered. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Trey, and welcome back to Let's Talk Finances, where on this channel, I give you the best tips and strategies to get out of debt, stay out of debt, become financially independent, and of course, start building wealth. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm, all right? So without further ado, let's get into index funds. So when starting this video off, I wanted to go over why I began investing in index funds to kind of make it make sense to you, all right? So my journey began with debt. All right, I wanted to know how to get out of debt. So I began reading books. I started looking at YouTube videos. I stumbled across a video by Dave Ramsey. And then from there, I went into the Total Money Makeover. Now for me, it was a little bit easier in implementing those steps, the debt snowball, the debt avalanche, in order to get out of debt. If you're unfamiliar with these terms, or even Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps, in this video, I actually went over how to utilize Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps to get out of debt. So look at that video after this one. In one of those baby steps, they talk about investing. And for me, I was so out of the loop. I didn't really know or understand investing. As a matter of fact, I thought investing was only speculative investing. If you stay tuned to the end of the video, I'm going to be giving you the top 3 index funds that you should be considering investing in 2021 and moving forward. What exactly is speculative investing? Speculative investing refers to the act of conducting a financial transaction that has substantial risk of losing value, but also holds the expectation of high returns. Now, I know plenty of people who do single stock trading or speculative investing. If it works for them, awesome. But I also know tons of people who lost a substantial amount of money due to speculative investing. What I ended up being privy to was index funds. And the reason for that, I have to attribute it to the great John Bogle. I actually stumbled across a video by John Bogle. He was talking so highly about index funds. At that time, I didn't even realize he was the creator of it. As I started doing more digging, I came across one of his books. It was the Little Book of Common Sense Investing, all right? And I'll put that in the description as well. But from that point, I wanted to start looking more into index funds. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with what index funds are, I'll give you the most blanket and the most basic definition of it, all right? So let's say you go to a supermarket and you're going shopping for fruit, all right? And then you scan through the aisle and you see peaches, you see apples, and you see oranges. And then you decide to take a peach, an apple, and an orange home, and then you slice open the orange, and it's the best thing that you've ever tasted. But then the next day you decide to eat another one, and you reach into the bag and you cut open those oranges, and they taste nothing like the first one. As a matter of fact, the entire bag was just horrible, all right? And then you go to your apples, the apples were horrible. And then you go to your peach, and the peach was all mushy, and it was just horrible as well. Even though all of those were horrible, you still love all of them. You love those oranges, you love those peaches, and you also love apples. So you decide to go back to the grocery store, and you try to find out, instead of paying for all of those individually, if you can actually purchase all of those with one price. In a nutshell, that's exactly what an index fund is. Instead of investing in Apple or Amazon or Tesla individually, you actually purchase them with paying one set price and have all of them included in one index. The premise behind investing is actually very simple. Invest money into the market so that you can own a piece of every single company in the United States. And if you want to take it a step further, you can also own every single company internationally. Do as much investing as you can while minimizing your risk. And that is what drew me to index funds. As I started doing my research, I realized that the majority of the millionaires and billionaires were doing this. And in fact, majority of the individuals who are on their FIRE journey were also investing in these index funds. The more I started looking into it, I realized these index funds have a low expense ratio, they have a low risk factor, but they have the largest return on investment for long-term growth. So that's why I decided to go into index funds. You have some people that would say, hey, you should do Bitcoin. You should do cryptocurrency. You should do single stock. Look, all of that is great if it works for you. I'm talking specifically about my experience with index funds and getting out of debt. So now that you know what an index fund is, let's go ahead and start talking about the reasons why you should be investing in index funds. Before we start talking about why you should be investing in index funds, go ahead and put down in the comments below if you've already started investing in index funds. And if not, are you considering it? Don't forget to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Here's the top 3 reasons why you should be investing in index funds. The number 1 reason why you should be is because you won't be relying on any fund manager to manage your portfolio, all right? With an index fund, it's very simple. It's passively managed, which means your expense ratio is going to be significantly lower, all right? The less money you're paying a fund manager, the more money you put into your pocket, which was one of the main premises as to why John Bogle created the index fund. His thought process was, I don't want to take all of this money from the shareholders. I would prefer that the shareholders keep as much money as physically and humanly possible. And this reason is why I personally decided to go with Vanguard. Number 1, it's the creator of the index fund. But number 2, I wanted to invest my money into a company that had my best interest at heart. Not so much the company, but the actual shareholders. Because of the thought and the notions that they base their foundation off of is why I decided to go with Vanguard. Reason number 2, and that is your expense ratios are significantly lower. You're not paying high, ridiculous amounts of commission, 1 to 2%. You're paying somewhere between 0.03% to like 0.09%, which is an insanely low amount for an expense ratio. The third reason, which is the biggest reason in my particular opinion, diversification. For those people who decide to do single stock investing, if it works for them, great. But instead of having to pick and choose these individual stocks, you're actually going to be investing in all of them. So I could sit here and tell you I actually own a portion of every single company in the United States, but not just the United States, but internationally as well, because it matches my investment strategy. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, why should you be investing anyway? The reason you should be investing is to allow your hard-earned money to make more money for you. Index funds are the best way to accumulate wealth in the long term while minimizing your risk and maximizing your return on investment. So I said that if you stay tuned until the end of the video, I will be giving you the top 3 index funds that you should be considering investing in 2021. Number 1 on that list is my personal favorite, Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index Fund. And the ticker symbol for that is VTSAX, to where its ETF equivalent is VTI. The reason that is my personal favorite is because of its diversification. You'll be invested in over 3,600 companies, and those companies include 500 of the largest and most successful companies in the United States. Now, this will include Amazon, Facebook, Tesla, Burger King, McDonald's, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's. All of these companies I could just name and keep going on and on and on. VTSAX, in my opinion, is the best index fund to invest in for diversification. Now, its expense ratio is 0.03%, which is relatively low. It is considered to be a large blend stock. Currently, it's going for $191 per share. Its 1-year return is 20.95%. Its 5-year return would be 15.43%, and its 10-year return would be 13.78%. Number 2 on that list would be Vanguard's S&P 500 Index Fund, VFIAX, and its ETF equivalent being VOO. According to Warren Buffett, the only thing that you should be doing in terms of your investment strategy is investing in an index fund that tracks the S&P 500. And that's exactly what this is. 500 of the largest companies within the United States. Its expense ratio is also 0.03%. It is also considered to be a large blend stock. It's currently going for $338 per share. Its 1-year return is about 18.35%. Its 5-year return is 15.18%, and its 10-year return is about 13.85%. This is another one that you should be considering putting into your portfolio in 2021. And the third index fund, Vanguard's Total World Stock Index Fund, VTWAX, and its ETF equivalent being VT. I actually went over this one particular index fund in this video, all right? So I went over it in a nutshell. I went over why it's good and why it may be a good choice for you. Go and watch that video after this one. For those people who are seasoned, or maybe not even, but well knowledge in the world of index funds, you want to fully diversify your portfolio. And a good way of doing so is not only investing in domestic stocks, but also international stocks. The first two mentioned index funds do not invest in international funds at all. This particular one, it does, all right? So not only does it include all of the funds that we spoke about in option number 1 and option number 2, but it also includes international funds as well. Currently, it's about 50% US stocks and about 47 to 48% international funds. The reason that it is so good and why I listed it at number 3 is for those individuals who want to fully diversify their portfolios. And there's no better way in doing so rather than investing in US stocks as well as international stocks. There are some people who say, hey, you don't need to invest in international stocks at all because a portion of those that are in the 500 largest companies are actually held internationally, which is true. For me personally, in my portfolio and my investment style, I do invest in international funds as well. For those of you who are considering putting more funds into your portfolio, in this video, I actually went over different portfolios and stocks that you can put into different investment strategies. So go over and watch that video after this one. Going back to Vanguard's Total World Stock Index Fund, its expense ratio is currently 0.08%. It is considered to be a total world stock. It is currently going for $92 per share. Its 1-year return is 16.74%. Its 5-year return is 12.55%. And its 10-year return is 9.39%. There you have it, guys. The 3 index funds that you should be considering in 2021. These are the ones that you should choose from to put as your foundational investment. I would not recommend investing in all 3 of these because there will be too much overlap. What I mean by overlap is, for example, VTSAX holds too many funds that are the exact same as VFIAX, all right? So I would only choose one of the 3. All right, guys, so there you have it. Why you should be investing in index funds in 2021, and also the top 3 index funds that you should be looking at to put into your portfolio. If you found this video to be helpful or insightful in any way, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. This channel is specifically dedicated in helping you reach financial independence, so take the journey with me. Hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other content just like this video. As always, guys, I want to thank the men and women of this country who have served and who are currently serving. I greatly appreciate your services, as we all do. So until the next video, let's talk finances then.